Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I've got a really simple one sheet wonder for you. I did a one sheet wonder last week out of 6x6 paper, and I've got the same going on here, and I got a really good response from that, and so I just wanted to do another one, a really super simple one. And I wanted just to be a little bit more specific on some of the measurements and things. So I've actually now put this together so that I can show you what it looks like, and what this comes from is one sheet of 6x6 DSP. And the first thing that you do is cut this completely in half, both lengthways and widthways, so that you end up with 4 squares, each measuring 3 inches by 3 inches. And then with each of those 4 squares, being very careful not to rotate the paper, because what we're going to do, as you can probably see with this one, is that the pattern, it all matches. So if I pushed all of those together, then it hasn't mixed it up. You kind of get what I mean there. Same with this one as well. Just a little bit of luck there that we've got that flower right there in the middle. So this one sheet of 6x6 will create 4 cards, unless you want to rearrange them differently, and you could make more, but I was going to make 4 cards out of these. I'm going to go over the specifics of where you're going to cut things in a second. So what I was going to say was, with each of those 4 squares that are 3 inches by 3 inches, this first one, you're just going to do the same again. So you're going to cut it in half at 1.5 inches, and then at 1.5 inches. Again, being sure not to rotate any of these pieces so that they fit back together again. I'll tell you about the measurements of the cardstock behind it in a second. So this one, which was our second 3 inch by 3 inch square, I cut it right down the middle at 1.5 inches, and then put that to one side, and then this one cut in half again at 1.5 inches. So we have 2 squares that are 1.5 inches square, and then we have this rectangle that is 1.5 by 3 inches. This one I just sliced diagonally, so this is 3 inches square, and I just sliced it right down the diagonal, corner to corner. And then with this one, took my 3 inch square and then just sliced at 1 inch and at 2 inches, so that I had 3 rectangles. Now the card that's behind it, so I've made all of these, with the exception of this one, I've made all of these 1/8 of an inch bigger than the original square. So these squares here are 1.5 inches square. And then each of these pieces of cardstock is 1.1/8 inch square. So we've got 4 of those, and then another 2 for this one. So you need 6 pieces of 1.1/8 inch square cardstock. The cardstock behind this rectangle here measures 1 5/8 by 3 1/8. Now what I did with this one, and the gap all around this is slightly bigger I think, I took a piece of 3.5 inch square cardstock and just sliced it on the diagonal again, and then these 2 bits of DSP fit in that quite nicely. And then with this one, I've got a piece, got 3 pieces of cardstock that measure 1 1/8 by 3 1/8, and there are 3 of those. And then all you need to do after that is just glue each of these pieces on, and then start putting your cards together. So I've stuck now all the bits of DSP onto the card. This card is Poppy Parade. I'm going to do some stamping later with some sentiments, but I don't have Poppy Parade ink, so I'm going to be using Real Red. There's not a huge difference between the two, so I'm going to use that. And I've got here 4 card bases. I have cheated a little, and I've bought pre-made pre-scored card bases. I just had some kicking about, and I thought, well, just for the sake of this project, I will use those. I don't normally cheat. I do normally. You can feel the difference between this and Whisper White cardstock. So I'm going to use these 4 and create 4 cards, and I want to show you what I'm going to do with those. I'm just going to put these over here because I don't want them to move. And I'm going to start off with the 3 rectangles. I'm trying to move them without shuffling them. So I haven't really thought about what I'm going to do with these. If you wanted to, you could layer up even further. So you could put a layer of red cardstock on top of the white card, and then put another layer of white if you wanted to. I'm just being a bit frugal here. So you could do that, or you could have them horizontally. Because we've got some DSP here, that doesn't really matter which way it goes. The only thing I wanted to make sure was that the pattern ran from one side to the other. So the other thing that I'm going to do as well, what I have got here, is the Heart Duo Punch. So this is available in the mini catalogue. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. So there are 2, and they're in the catalogue. You think, oh, they're going to be a bit small. They're not. They're quite chunky, and they come together, and they're quite big as well. And the scalloped heart is ever so slightly bigger than the plain edged heart. So I'm going to get my cardstock. And I'm going to punch out a heart, a scalloped heart. And I think I'm going to put that, so I'm just going to lay this out and decide where I'm going to put it. And I'm going to put that there, and then I need some white cardstock, got some there, and I'll show you what I mean by how easily this goes together. So there's my plain heart, and then that is going to sit on there. Oh, isn't that cute? And I just want them to overlap just slightly. So just put that to one side. I'm going to now get this is the stamp set that I'm going to use, and I want this. Just because I would like to send some friends just some cards, just to say that I'm thinking about them, because I can't see them because we're all locked down. So I want to send everybody a card. I've got a really big block because I am not going downstairs again to get my smaller block. So I am using a big old chunky ink block here, but never mind. So I'm using real red ink. You could use Poppy Parade, you could use black, you could use whatever colour you like. I'm using real red because it's the nearest I've got to this cardstock. And that just fits in there like that. Nice. There we go. I do like it when a plan comes to fruition. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some dimensionals. I haven't used dimensionals for what feels like ages. I'm going to be really mean, and I'm going to put 2 on there. And then just fit that on top. I can't get my head over the top to look to see if it's in the right spot, so it'll probably be crooked. Right, it's going there. Could be better. Right, let's get these on. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the middle one on, being very careful that I don't get these, start turning them round and changing the order of them. Yep, I think that's okay. You've probably noticed that I've got a nail casualty. It pinged off earlier. And of course there are no salons or nail bars open, so that's how it's going to have to stay. But I imagine lots of ladies out there who can't get their nails done, and we're all in the same boat. So there's that on there, and then just to take my sentiment, slap some glue on it, and then I'm just going to put that right in the centre there. like that. So that's card number 1. What I was going to say earlier in the video was you're getting 4 cards out of 1 sheet of 6x6 DSP. So if you had a piece of 12x12, which you then cut into 4, so you've got 4 bits of 6, you end up getting 16 cards out of it. Bet you didn't know you were going to get a maths lesson in this tutorial. Oh, I think that's so cute. So simple. So simple. And I always like to appeal to the beginner crafter, just to show that it does not need to be difficult. Next one. So I'm going to take, let's just go with, whoops, that's dropping my glue. Let's go with these. So I don't quite know how this is going to work out. Who knows? So I'm just going to put those there for now. Still using the heart, just want to use the same design all the way through this. So let's have a scalloped heart. Just going to lay this out, see what it looks like. I think that's all right. Do you think? Let's get the white bit in it, just for the final verdict. I think that's good. I think it would work better on a squarer card, and you know, there's nothing stopping me really trimming that card. Should we do it? Should we do it? We're going to do it. We're going to trim the card. So at the moment, this is about 5 7/8. Oh, I'm a bit scared. Should we trim it to 5? Oh, let's do it. We've done it. And I've gone and splodged ink on it. So I put that to the back. Let's put that there like that. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? What I think it is. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that again. So that's card number 2, almost done, once we've got it all put together. I'm just going to move that out of the way, just let that dry. Video I did yesterday, I stamped my sentiment and then just wiped my finger over it, and then it just splodged right on camera. It's like, thank you very much. And then that one on there like that, just making sure that that gap that runs between the middle is of equal distance all the way along. Right, so mini dimensionals on here, still got a few left on this one. So I'm going to be frivolous. I'm going to put 3 on there. See if I can get this better than the last one. Much better. And we glue this one down in the middle of the card. So it's still nothing complicated. A beginner crafter could do this easily. So there we go. That's number 2. Next card base. So I don't quite know what I'm going to do with these. It seemed a good idea at the time, but let's just go with it. I don't know where I'm going to put my heart. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Well, I've got to make a decision, haven't I? That's what it is. Let's get a heart and let's just see where that's going to sit. Well, that's what it is. It is what it is. Oh my gosh, I've got stuff everywhere. I've been working from home today, so I've been working from this desk. Then I wanted to do some craft before dinner. And you might be able to hear my husband crashing about downstairs while he makes my dinner. I am so lucky that he's been doing all of that while I've been working. And then I've just made my desk even more of a mess by doing some crafting quickly before dinner, and then I can write some blogs up after dinner. Right, let's get these glued on first. And then the decision has to be final then. And you know what, it wouldn't bother me at all if any of you, if you thought I could have put this one slightly better, leave a comment. I'd love to know, because I bet you've all got some really good ideas. I love it when fellow crafters leave comments on here saying, oh, you could have tried this. And you know, I never mind when people do that. It never bothers me. And it's, oh yeah, actually, I didn't think of that. Come on, glue. Put that one there. Let's melt my heart onto my heart. I'm going no more daring than 3. I don't want to waste them. I love this heart duo punch, absolutely love it. I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator for 2.5 years now, and I've been waiting for Stampin' Up to bring out a heart. So I'm really pleased now that they have. There we are, so there's our 3rd, and then let's do the 4th. There's our card base. Let's bring these over and then decide what on earth we're going to do with these. Now, because we have got a real definite pattern there, I don't want to break that up and go and stick a heart in the middle. I want these to sit there like that, and I want to put a heart at the bottom. I'm hoping I've got just enough room on this card to punch out another heart. I do. They're going to go on there like that, and I'm going to put that there because I do not want to break up that pattern. If I only want a really small gap between those, and then just to drop that on there. So let's quickly get this stamped, because you probably heard he's calling me to say that dinner is ready, and I've said I'd be a minute. That's not going to happen, is it? So fast and furious, and there will be some details of this on my blog. Lost my ink. There it is. So all of the measurements will be on here. All of the products that I've used will be on my blog as well. So don't worry if you missed any of those measurements. They will be on the blog. I've also done another 6x6 one sheet wonder, which is slightly more intricate, but it just got such a fantastic response from some of the craft groups that I posted in. So I thought I'm going to do that again. So let's quickly glue these on before I start smelling burning and he starts shouting again, because I've said I'd be 1 minute. Why did I think I'd be 1 minute? Quickly put those together. Can you see it makes such a difference when you keep all of the DSP in the right order. Just keeping the space nice and even and keeping all of your squares. That's the only difficult bit about this, is just concentrating to make sure that you've got all of your squares equal distance apart, but you can still see that pattern of those flowers. Right, very quickly get these on. How many of these have I got left? There's 2. Come on. Oh my god. Oh yes, there is, in the corner. I thought I didn't have enough. This is a race against the clock and against the oven. Oh, it's moving. Come on. And then that is going to sit on there like that. So just while I'm sticking this on here, if this is the first time you've come across me and you like simple crafting paper projects, then come and subscribe to my channel. I try and put content on at least twice a week. I'm trying to be better now that we're quarantined at home. And I've got a blog as well, so come and subscribe to that, and I will bring another simple stamping project in the next couple of days. So what I just want to quickly do, very, very quickly before he shouts again, that's 1 card. 2 cards with a slightly strange design, 3 with a diagonal, and 4 with the rectangles. I hope you like that. Great way to get rid of some 6x6 DSP if you've got some kicking about, especially if you've done a paper share. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back again soon. Bye bye.